In a significant twist to South Africa's political scene, President Cyril Ramaphosa has made the first ever public statement on the international warrant of arrest issued to economic freedom fighters, EFF, leader Julius Malema by the United Kingdom. Addressing the union buildings in Pretoria at a joint press briefing with visiting European Union leaders, Ramaphosa assured that his office had been duly briefed by the Department of International Relations and Cooperation, DIRCO, and the South African Police Service, SAPS, on the UK's legal application. "We are aware of the arrest warrant issued by British authorities for Mr. Julius Malema," the president announced, stressing that as a constitutional democracy that functions under the rule of law, South Africa will utilize the proper legal and diplomatic avenues, adding, "No one is above the law, not in South Africa and not anywhere else." This was Ramaphosa's first public statement since news broke yesterday week that a UK magistrate's court had issued a sealed warrant for Malema in relation to an alleged money laundering and organised financial crime investigation. The probe focuses on a shell company in Britain, Rutherford Consulting Ltd, which prosecutors say has links with several political leaders in Africa, and British authorities assert Malema knowingly or indirectly gained from more than £4.2 million, about 100 million, that passed through offshore corporate accounts linked to the company. Even though Rutherford Consulting is legally registered in London, UK prosecutors contend it has been a politically shielded laundering front for high-ranking African elites, with dodgy transactions highlighted by the UK's National Crime Agency, NCA, and Interpol allegedly stretching from 2020 to 2023, entailing the illegal transfer of funds camouflaged as consulting fees for Pan-African land reform projects. British authorities insist that there were no such programs and claim the funds went into encrypted crypto wallets, high-end European property, and lawful retainers. Malema has flatly denied all the claims, calling the warrant colonial vengeance masquerading as due process. President Ramaphosa's diplomatically crafted comments are being interpreted as a masterful move to balance mounting domestic tension from EFF supporters against pressure from global allies. As he stated, "We will not preempt legal processes or interfere with the sovereignty of other jurisdictions," while confirming that South Africa has treaties and cooperative frameworks with the United Kingdom and that if a formal request for extradition is made, it will be considered through the appropriate judicial processes. Ramaphosa emphasized that Mr. Malema, as a citizen, is entitled to the assumption of innocence until found otherwise, but political identity must not provide a shield against accountability. Political sources aver that Ramaphosa had been under increasing pressure to come out of his shell, especially after the UK Foreign Office summoned the South African High Commissioner to London for urgent talks earlier this week, with a diplomatic note reportedly underscoring Britain's insistence on complete openness and cooperation in line with the 2003 extradition treaty between the two countries, a mainstay of legal cooperation aimed at efficient extradition of suspects while protecting their legal rights. However, the political nature of this case has ignited controversy over whether the current frameworks can cope with the charged environment of Malema's arrest warrant. In the meantime, the EFF has remained intransigent, and during an urgent press conference at the party headquarters in Bipantine, spokesperson Vonne Pambo referred to the warrant as a politically motivated witch hunt against the only revolutionary voice left on the continent, declaring, "The imperialist dogs of London want to silence the commanding chief because he dared speak the truth about global inequality. We are not intimidated and we will not collude with an agenda to criminalize black leadership." Such rhetoric has mobilized the party's base, further dividing South Africa's already divided political scene, with the party calling for mass national protests under the campaign hashtag #HandsOffMalema, with demonstrations planned in Johannesburg, Durban, and Cape Town, and planners indicating that tens of thousands are expected to march in support of what they term a targeted assault on black resistance. These demonstrations are expected to heighten tensions in cities already struggling with economic woes and social unrest, causing alarm among security experts over possible confrontations between protesters and police. Malema is reportedly in South Africa and has indefinitely called off all foreign engagements, including a planned keynote speech at the Pan-African Youth Forum in Ghana's capital, Accra, citing security reasons, and his last-minute travel ban has fueled speculation about the gravity of the warrant and its looming legal ramifications. Commentators suggest the leak of the warrant just weeks before a key national election cycle is unlikely to be accidental, further inflaming conspiracy theories and distrust among political constituencies. Although the South African government has not yet received an extradition request, legal commentators note that if one were made, it would trigger a contentious and protracted judicial process, with the judiciary facing the difficult task of balancing evidence put forward by UK authorities against domestic political forces and the nation's commitment to international law. For now, the country holds its breath as legal, political, and global dynamics converge in one of the most volatile events in recent years, a case with the potential to reshape South Africa's internal political landscape and diplomatic relations for years to come, highlighting the precarious intersection of law, politics, and global justice.